In this episode, a couple of BMWs, an Audi, hopefully a couple of owners' reactions when they collect the cars, but it's been a while since we've had an intro as such, so let's roll some random B-roll footage and I'll join you back here in a second. Hello, welcome back to the channel, welcome to WhiteDetails. Today is Tuesday. Monday was the wash decontamination on this little lovely mineral grey BMW M140i. This episode is going to be pretty much the same as the last actually. I, at the time, for whatever reason, didn't really enjoy it. It was a hodgepodge compilation mixture of about 3 or 4 weeks worth of work compiled into one, but it seems to have gone down quite well. Lots of nice positive comments, which is great. Some people in fact saying best episode ever. And at the same time, there's perhaps 1 or 2 updates, 1 or 2 things I want to talk about, and I guess we'll start by taking a look around the M140 and see what we're working with. Right, so day 2, I have started the bonnet, the roof, and this near side and the back end. The reason it's here, a couple of years ago, the car was detailed by a northernly based outfit and it had a ceramic system applied at the time. Unfortunately, the car since then has been involved in an accident involving the offside corner of the front bumper and the wing. So the bumper and the wing and 1 or 2 areas have been painted. The coating that was applied 2 years ago has now been compromised, of course, and at the same time it's not so much the coating but also the damage that's been induced elsewhere in the body shop's prep, polishing and refinishing stages. Customer was pretty satisfied with the previous ceramic system, having researched WhiteDetails and Modesta. However, they are now upgraded to Modesta BC04, so I've got some paint correction to perform, get the primer down and start laying the coatings for Modesta systems. Turn the big lights off. As an example of what the car is like where the body shop haven't been involved, it's all pretty good. Using the big scan grip D-match, you can see there are a few random abrasions, some swirling. The surface is looking a bit dry. So really the existing areas, it's a 2-stage cut, refine to sort of strip the old coating and to chase out the defects and sort of restore the whole thing as one. But the owner's main concern are the areas that of course have been painted, so bumper, wing, and then there's some blend work along this door. Pretty rough. And then the offside rear door overlaps here. There's holograms, buffer trails when they've gone across the panel. Back here it's pretty good. That's yet to be polished by me. That's the original. And then this is all the work that's been left behind by the body shop. Flattening marks, abrasions, buffer trails, lots of rub marks, lots of rub marks. Pretty unsightly, as you can imagine. The owner's not too happy. Before we go onto the front bumper, there is also the gloss black trim. Quite how they've done this, I don't know, because the top of the door, it folds over. It's quite a roll there. The bottom of the trim has been hammered. Look how grey it is down there. So that, I think, is a rotary pad being used on the edge of a wool mop, perhaps cutting into there to get to the top of the door, but actually really badly smacking into the trim. So quite what we can do there. You can see in the back door, not so much a problem. Front door, and then of course the gloss black pillars. And then lastly it's the front bumper. First things first, One of the two prongs under the badge has been snapped, and that to me is, well, it's hanging off. That needs replacing. The corners of the panel, heavy, sander marks, dull, very dull. Look at the clarity difference between the bonnet and the bumper. More buffer trailing on the grille. You see on the kidney grille there on the side. The mop is caught there. With the occasional deeper scratch present as well. When I was working on the wing, I could see that the top of the light, there's some scratching up on the top of the lens here. So again, I think that's as a result of them working around. But these areas I've been across already, single cut, yet to be refined, but much sharper. As it should have been left first time around. If you could drop on the 9th or the 10th, so that's the Friday or Saturday, that would be preferable to the Sunday, Friday or 10th. And then I'm going to be in on the 17th finishing an X3M. Yeah, okay. Using a cut down section of microfiber Cartec 3000 heavy cut, there are improvements being made on the trim. In the previous footage you probably just saw me doing that, and whilst yapping away I've got the headset on and I'm talking to a customer. But before, after, great result. It's not been IPA'd yet, to be honest. I'm sure isopropyl alcohol or a panel wipe might remove some of that somewhere that was left in a real bad state. So I should be most delighted. One cut later, that's not a bad result so far. Just been panel wiped and prepped. Not perfect, come on. Not quite perfect yet, but after one cut, it's much obviously improved. It's about on par now with the rest of the car, to be honest. Obviously we're working with the 5-inch, the 3-inch and the Nano. I've got to talk about this in a bit more detail soon in this episode. A lot of people have been asking about that. Carbon Collective's Hex Nano. So 5-inch for the bulk, 3 inches around the perimeter up the side, and then under this little, there's limitations there, and here for the 3-inch to do that. And as you can see, these areas are still hazy. So the hybrid comes out. I say the hybrid, the Nano, the 1-inch, the Nano comes out. Let's tackle these little slots. Whereas otherwise, the rest of that, I'm happy with. Using this angle, you should be able to see where the 3 inches stopped. So I've got to there, just on the side, the handle with a 3-inch. Along here, and then this, as I say, Nano. Yeah. Modesto's primer is down on the surface. That needs now 3 or 4 minutes to sort of sit before being buffed. Lots of questions come in, lots of people talking about having seen me use the Carbon Collective Hex Nano Polisher. Received this a couple of months ago now. I've used it a lot and getting on great, to be honest. Battery life, I can probably get one side of the car's worth of nano polishing action out of per battery before it has to go on charge. The kit is supplied with 2. Those that have been on the channel before and see me polish with the Rupes hybrid, I've coined the term hybridery over the last few years and very much love the hybrid. I have 2 hybrids, couldn't do a car without one, that nano ability to be able to polish the intricate spots, but the hybrid was all that was available sort of at that time. Only recently there are a couple of alternatives. I think this really is a reskinned version of SPTA, something like that. I don't often look too much at the market to see what's available. I settle and comfortable with what I've got. But as a kit form, with the bag, the kit, the pad, the 2-inch backing plate, the 1-inch backing plate, everything else included, 2 batteries, only battery power. This, at a fraction of the price, is pretty good. If I was starting out and I had to get a 5-inch or a 3-inch that converts to a 5-inch to be able to cover all bases and get a nano, would I spend twice the amount of one of these for the hybrid? The answer would be no. No affiliation to Rupes, nor have I got any affiliation to Carbon Collective, nor, which leads me into something else, have I been paid to show this, to use this, to talk about it. I've received it, yes, and I've used it, and I've got on with it, yes. But that as well, be that hardware, coatings, polishes, the fact I'm running around in a Cartech apron. People assume, and I've read on message boards, that WhiteDetails is obviously heavily financed and sponsored or monetized through partnerships with brands, and that's not the case. It really isn't. The fact I'm wearing a Cartech apron is because my WhiteDetails apron is ripped down the seam and it's pretty disgusting. This came through for free. More for me because that's fantastic advertisement for Cartech. And at the same time, the move to Modesto from Kamikaze Collection, which I was getting on well with. I've just been invoiced over £1,200 worth for coatings and products that I've paid. I don't get this stuff for free. I don't get paid to use it. So there we go. But I don't rely on any partnerships or sponsorships or finance agreements to be the face of product XYZ. My income is my hands-on work on the detailing itself. Nor am I sponsored by Coca-Cola. Before I move away from that as well, probably one of the reasons being, yes, it'd be great to receive 10 figures of salary before even touching a car a year, but as the industry changes, it allows me to change with it. If I was tied into a brand, a manufacturer, a system, a coating, something new comes out, sort of locked into that system. It gives me flexibility. I don't have to be biased towards anything. I'm using what I like, and I like what I use. Idiot! Good work. It's not quite the same, but it's the right idea. Perfect. coating done, coating down, coating complete, now ready for curing.
Bunsen burner, I should concern ya. Harry Mack, you know that he's the next dude. My saliva is bubbling over edge of test tube. They trying to study just to see how it works. They trying to take a sample of my brain cause he's just berserk. $5 from the homie Michael, my recital is the most lit. I go back in time like the Bible. Ceremonies, you know I hit it with the big L.
That's one complete M140 minor paint correction, Modesta BCO4, Modesta BCO6 interior treatments. I'd like to get this out in the sun, but it's pretty miserable, overcast and raining, so the car's gonna stay inside now until collection, which is 2 days away. Today is Friday. The car's being picked up on Sunday, when I'll have an Alpine White, I think M3, dropped off for a similar treatments, minus the coatings, minor paint correction. But for now, we'll get some after footage and see where the rest of the episode may take us. One of the most frequent questions asked as of late has been about the valve caps. Now this, of course, is to identify when the wheels are off. It is simply a color-coded scheme to identify which wheel is which. Near side front, offside front, near side rear, offside rear. They are nothing special. They cost me £2-3 on Amazon. The reds go on the off side of the vehicle, blue comes on the left side. And as you can see on the end, I've managed to stamp letters R and F to determine, of course, front and rear. So yeah, absolutely nothing special. I think people have been a bit worried or concerned that they don't know where to buy them because they're a specialist item. They're not. They cost £2 or £3 on Amazon. Go check them out for yourself. And maybe you want to do a green, yellow, blue, black, one for each corner, or a color-coded system, or your own unique way of identifying which is which. Alright, I'd better introduce this one. Welcome back to another week. Still the same episode, but it's Monday, 5:45 in the PM. Gonna be here for a couple of hours yet tonight. I've got pretty much 3 days for the budget of this M3 mineral white, and it is in for a minor correction with no coatings, wheels off work, but no coatings in the wheels, and a little bit of interior work to get the front two seats not so shiny, because they're shiny, they're dirty. Get them protected and get some sort of sealant on the bodywork. As you've seen, the paint is responding okay. It's pretty hard. It's a tough clear coat, this one. Cartex 3000 delivering the goods. Stubbornness removed from this corner. Need some more finger polishing down this inner ledge on the near side, but the off side is worse actually. Easier to see, excuse my scabby fingernails, but in there, heavily pitted and grimy. Claim it's not cleared that up very well, so it will be polished. 8 PM, day one on the M3. I've done a lot of quieter jobs, so basically machine polishing with the nano polisher because it's not noisy. I have to respect noise limits. Out of hours, so from 6:30, 7 PM, it's just gone 8 PM. It's not a bad thing because it stops me working through to the very early hours with the machine polisher. But quiet jobs tackled, hybrid on the back end of the gloss black. Some of the bits in the back bumper, some of the bits in the front bumper yet to be completed. More of the same tomorrow. At this point, Tuesday afternoon, I got tired of cutting. Just got the front bumper, side skirts, B pillars, the wing mirrors to finish the cutting, otherwise the rest of it is complete. So when I was at the back end finishing the spoiler and the tailgate, I'm now working forwards, refining. If you don't want to wait for the leather to dry naturally before you coat it, I'll wait dry. So it's gone 6 PM, day 2 for the M3, and because I've got the LPS system, leather 0102, it's a 2-part system, because I've got this to apply, and I've got a day left on that, this needs about 3 hours in between coats. So tonight I've got the leather clean, and I'll apply 01, Get the second one down tomorrow. And I've still got the front end, the bumper to cut, the side skirts to cut, the pillars to cut, the mirrors to cut, and then refine. But otherwise, the rest of it is refined, and it's shaping up very nicely. This afternoon's been pretty manic. To be honest, I've not had time for the camera, I'm afraid. The car's finished, with the exception now, the grill still needs attention. With the exception of high request from the customer to try and tackle some of the interior trim pieces. This is from the iDrive center console. It's not one of the worst I've seen, but of course it is a surface. It's a high gloss lacquered surface that's likely to pick up marks and abrasions. But out of the car, it's much more efficient, much safer and easier for me to now tackle that. There's buffer trails there. Back out with a hex polisher. Treating this just the same as the bodywork or the carbon fibre sections, the roof mirrors, splitters and diffuser. Cut, refine. Same again, polish this. Get some protection on it and put it back. Slightly hazy buffer trails, especially on this top edge here. It's hazy there, but not terrible. Let's do a 50-50. Also need to do some masking on this one as well. A great success on the interior trim pieces, and before I start on the Audi, and before this vehicle leaves this bay, I want to get some after footage. But if your name is Joe, or you operate Detailed Joe Supplies, Detailed Joe, Detailed Supplies, thank you. This looks like a 3D printed coating holder, coating cradle. Obviously the old WhiteDetails coating cradle is seeing some use now. But this, I've just realised it's all different sizes, so you can get your small bottle, snug, your medium bottle, snug, slightly bigger bottles. The bottom comes away. Oh, it's magnetic. Nice touch. So you can clean. Thank you, Joe. Audi RS5, Nardo Grey. Next in 2 days, lots to do. Come back to you and explain what's what in a little while. Basically, the car left here March with the customer's own supplied wax. It received a 2-stage minor correction, and then months have gone by, the vehicle's been washed, swirls have been induced. Customers, why, how? Obviously there's lots of variables as to why they can be induced, but a ceramic coating, Modesta BCO4, offers much greater performance and protection against marring and swirls being induced. So it's back for a single stage polish to remove A, whatever traces of the wax are left, B, refine the finish and cut out the swirling and marring that's been induced. It's also had a bad dealer wash by Audi when it went for some warranty work. It's had the offside window trim here replaced. The surrounding paintwork is all cut up and scratched, and badly scratched with abrasions, as you can see. And then the offside front corner of the front bumper, has been smart repaired. So there's blend marks, sander marks, lacquer lines, all sorts of goodness going on. Single stage polish, Modesta primer going down now, Modesta BCO4, and if time allows, the wheels as well. That's this episode complete. Another hodgepodge mixed bag episode, random, various over the last couple of weeks or so. Sorry there hasn't been a great deal of footage on the Audi. Behind me, final stages now. Infrared curing process after application of Modesta BCO4 ceramic paint protection. There's been a lot to do in the 2-day window I've had this, and collection is midday tomorrow. Collection midday tomorrow for both the Audi and the Mineral M3, which is still through next door. I've got to finish the curing process, got to torque the wheels, got to do the toothpickery, dress the tyres, do the door shuts. That's about me done, I think. With that said, thank you for watching. If you've made it through this far, much appreciated. Thank you to the White Detail patrons. Be sure to find White Details over on Instagram for daily behind the scenes and updates if you don't already. Subscribe, like the video if you've enjoyed, and until next time, take care. Ooh, outside actually, it's next week's job. An Audi A5 that looks very sorry for itself. Currently, it's been butchered with a machine polisher previously. There's a lot of work to be done on that for next week. But I'm out, take care, bye for now.
Isn't that something? Yeah, I think it looks much better. Yeah, it just looks, it looks like high definition. That's a new way to
Quickly before this episode finishes, do you remember the black Audi A5 which was next week's project? Wowee. Fast forward a week, the car is now finished. Owner is on the way to collect. They'll be here in the next half an hour. What I realized by now is I really should have filmed an episode purely on the Audi. The transformation on this is quite remarkable. One of the biggest I've had for a long time. 2-stage minor paint correction, but it was actually probably a 3 or 4 stage to get the desired results. At the top of the week when I started on Monday with the wet work, I knew I should start filming because it was in a terrible state. I'll throw up some images or videos that I recorded on my phone for Instagram now. But I had a backlog of editing to do from the last 4 weeks worth of work here. So I just got stuck into this one, and actually I regret not filming because the transformation has been quite epic. So some quick final after footage of the A5 and the owner's reaction, which I'm sure is going to be pretty awesome.
Oh my word.
Look at that. It's your new car.
It looks like it's new, yeah.
What do you think to it, Pete?
It's good, isn't it?
You see how shiny it is? Yeah.
That is
That looks really nice.
It is phenomenal. It's phenomenal.